Galaxy AI is not a gimmick, and alongside the revamped Bixby, it can really take your S26 Ultra to the next level. So here are all the AI features that are actually worth talking about. And first are the new call features, and there's 3 life-changing AI features to talk about. Activating call screening on your S26 Ultra is single-handedly the most elite move you can possibly make. It lets Galaxy AI or Bixby literally answer the phone for you if you get a call from a number that's not recognized or it thinks it's spam. Listen to this.
Please say who you are and why you're calling.
Hello, it's Jenny. I'm just calling from Instaloft. Just a quick call following your recent inquiry. Please give us a call.
The best part about that is you don't even need to listen to it back. It auto-transcribes and you can quickly check if it's actually worth your time to actually call someone back or even just pick up the phone whilst the call screen is in progress. This hasn't just reduced the amount of spam calls I'm getting, it's outright stopped them. The second AI call feature is live transcribing or text to call. If you're in a meeting, a cinema, or even a library, you can actually text what you want to say and Bixby will dictate it for you, but also it'll transcribe what the other person is saying too live on screen. And on top of that, you can take things one step further and actually live translate it as well. And the third feature is call recording. Now this isn't an AI feature on its own, but what comes next is you can take call recordings and transcribe them right on your phone and then use AI to take notes from that phone call. There are tons of AI note-taking and call recording devices out there, all with paid subscriptions. Galaxy AI just does it for free. In my opinion, the AI call features do a lot of the heavy lifting for the S26 Ultra, but there's at least 6 really subtle AI features that you've probably been using and not even noticed. First is one that I'm almost certain you've not been using to its full potential, and that is the Finder. This isn't just a visual quality of life improvement, it's actually AI. So you can type in roughly what you want to do in the settings or even type out a problem and it will find you the solution and all the settings you need. Second is a writing assistant, and this has honestly been such a big one for me. I type so fast and frequently make spelling mistakes and typos. Honestly, I'm an absolute nightmare, but Writing Assist does such a good job of cleaning it all up for you, and it goes beyond typing as well. If you're using the S Pen, you can even use it to tidy up and convert messy handwriting to text that you can actually read. Then number 3 is ProScaler 6. This is an AI-driven tool that's actively upscaling pretty much everything that you see on your S26 Ultra's display. There is a noticeable difference when it's off, but fun fact, it only activates when you have your S26 Ultra's display set to maximum resolution. If you drop it down to Full HD+, it's actually going to turn itself off. Number 4 is a bit of a fun one and arguably a little bit gimmicky, but also quite practical. It's Weather Wallpaper. Now this is something that you need to enable inside your home screen's customization settings, but I'd argue it stops you from having to open up your weather app all the time. You can literally just look at your home screen or your lock screen and see exactly what's going on outside, and it's got cool little details that you might not have noticed. It's even got depth perception. In this photo of Mrs. Take It Easy, you can see that the rain's actually falling on her shoulders. It's really cool. Number 5 is notification highlights. This basically lets Galaxy AI organize all of your notifications, putting what it believes is important towards the top of your notifications tray. It summarizes and then highlights them so you can action those ones first and then not miss anything important. And 6th is one that you've heard a lot of hype about, but I like it because it is something that is passive and going on in the background. It's the audio eraser tool. It's not only working when you're on a call, it's also working when you're watching a YouTube video or an Instagram reel that maybe has quite poorly recorded audio or the music is too loud. You can also make use of this feature to improve your own videos too. With those 6 subtle AI features out of the way, I want to cover something that's been much louder this year, but also not loud enough in my opinion, and that's Bixby. So here are the 6 things that I think Bixby is doing really well and possibly even better than Google's Gemini. First is Bixby now understands your settings in plain English, and crucially, it gives you the Samsung specific answer, not a generic one. So watch this, instead of having to know the name of a specific feature, I can just describe the problem. Hey Bixby, why does my display have a warm hue to it? What Bixby has done here is not only explain the issue, but it's offered to toggle the eye comfort shield for you. It didn't babble too much, it found the actual toggle on the phone and offered to flip it for me. If you ask Gemini the same thing, you get a much more general answer that might not actually be that helpful. And this leads me really nicely onto number 2, is not just changing settings one at a time, it's capable of diagnosing more complex issues and giving you multiple solutions to solve that issue. Watch this. Hey Bixby, my battery's draining super fast. As you can see, the response is a list of pretty much all of the settings that could be contributing to this problem, and it gives you toggles for all of them. You can even ask it to turn it into a routine is leaps ahead of Gemini in this context. And I just mentioned routines briefly. This is exactly what point number 3 is. You might have played around with routines before, but now you can add an Ask Bixby step, which opens up so many possibilities. And here's an awesome routine you can copy. I've called it lockdown. Imagine if you're walking through London or another city and a thief swipes your phone. Thieves love to keep your phone unlocked so they can mess around with it. So I've set up a routine that if I receive a message from anyone with the keyword lockdown 26, the following happens. Power saving is enabled first, brightness to 1%, extra dim to the max, privacy display on, Wi-Fi, mobile data, and crucially, location are all activated, and then all of the apps will close. And here's the Bixby part. I've added the Ask Bixby step and told it to lock the phone. This is not something that you used to be able to do through routines, but now you can ask Bixby to do it for you. Now the thief can barely see anything. Whatever they were messing around with instantly closes down, and it should be much easier to track your phone. There are other ways to set this up if you're solo, but even if you can just find a stranger and ask them to send a text to your phone, it can go a long way for hopefully keeping your data safe and actually finding your phone again. And point number 4 is agentic screen context. Now this is something that Gemini can do too, and arguably in certain scenarios can do a much better job. But Gemini doesn't have the deep integration with Samsung and is not as much of a background process as it is with Bixby. Bixby can make use of Samsung's knowledge feature, something that you've probably been using without even realizing it. It looks like a sort of clipboard, but what it's actually doing is reading context constantly. Depending on the permissions that you've given it, it can read things like your emails, texts, WhatsApp messages, and more, and give you quick actions, like adding an event to a calendar or bringing up a certain photo if your friend asks for it. It's genuinely impressive stuff. And this leads me really nicely onto number 5. Now in the past, Bixby did not have any memory, but now it can recall previous conversations and is constantly learning about you and the context of your life. This all feeds into Samsung's Now Brief feature, which is something I criticized initially because I didn't really see the point of it, but now I'm realizing how comprehensive it's getting and how much it's learning about me, and it's becoming genuinely useful. There's even a feature inside Now Brief where you can simply tap to say that you've just parked your car, and Bixby will remember that. If you ask it later, it will tell you exactly when you parked and where you parked. And point number 6 is equally as important. Usually with things like Gemini, you need to have an internet connection and you have to send that data to the cloud. With Bixby, it can actually perform tasks on a device level without needing to be connected to the internet, and there's even an option to keep all of the processing local to your phone, so you're not even forced to send your data to the cloud. Honestly, Bixby has impressed me so much on the S26 Ultra this year. It has come so far, but I do still have one major gripe, and that is the sound of the voice. I genuinely think it is the worst sounding AI voice that I've come across so far. I mean, let me know in the comment section if I'm being too harsh there. Also, before we get on to the next AI features, I've just gone full time on YouTube, so if you could help me out by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you've enjoyed the video so far, that would be amazing. Also, do consider joining up as a channel member. You'll get yourself a fancy badge for the comment section, and you'll be supporting more independent reviews. There will be a link in the pinned comment for you. Anyway, believe it or not, Samsung have actually crammed in even more AI content. So here are the 5 I think are really worth bringing up outside the most important ones. And the first one, you'll tell me, is a bit of a gimmick. And I agree to a point, but Samsung have essentially promised that their AI features are going to remain free for life now. And I think the photo assist feature is a really fun one, and it's free to have on your phone. But also it does serve a practical benefit too, like using AI to take people out of shots or clean something up without having to leave your gallery is not just for putting clothes on your pet, it's genuinely useful. Which brings me to number 2, is not exactly brand new, but search in gallery now seems to be even better. I won't show you for obvious reasons, but when I moved house, I took a picture of the back of my router with the Wi-Fi password on, and it's even smart enough to pull that picture up just by me typing in internet. Number 3 is browsing assist, which for some people might make you want to switch from Chrome. You've got this really easy access button at the bottom that gives you 3 different options: summarize, translate, or read highlights out loud. And you can even choose whether the summary is simple or detailed. It's definitely worth a try, especially if you get tired of trawling through articles. Number 4 is one that doesn't get enough credit in my opinion, and that is auto trim. Despite being a YouTuber as a career now, I'm not actually that big on my personal socials. I just don't really want to put the time into it. But the auto trim feature lets me select a couple of videos I've taken over the weekend, and it will make an edit from them really quickly directly on the phone, even in 8K. So it's a really easy way to put absolutely no effort into your social media content, but still come across as adventurous and fun to your friends. And number 5 is another feature that just doesn't get talked about enough and has made me really happy, and that is the new scan functions. With the help of AI, you can take a pretty crumbled up ticket or document and the AI will detect it, remove any harsh shadows, creases, and even sort the corners out. It can get pretty close to looking like you've passed something through a scanner, and it's a really powerful feature to have on your phone. Next, no doubt you've been wondering about my lock screen, and I show you exactly how to get this in the first 60 seconds of this video right here. See you over there.